Hey guys, welcome back to Trailer Talk. Today I will be going over Phase 9 of my ideas and structure for the Mutant Saga, which takes place after the Secret Wars whole multiverse saga. So yeah, today I will be going over Phase 9, the final part, finally. I'm sorry for the wait, but yeah, I would recommend watching Phase 7 and 8 before this, but without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first project releasing from August to September 2031 would be Brotherhood of Mutants, a Disney Plus miniseries that would detail the origin story of Magneto, Mystique, and the rest of their villainous mutant crew, including Sabretooth, Blob, Juggernaut, and Toad. Next up would be the sequel to 2025's Thunderbolts, or New Avengers, entitled Thunderbolts: Rise of the Dark Avengers. After losing many members and being ostracized from the superhero community, Val decides to force her government-operated New Avengers, now also including Bullseye, Moonstone, and Sabretooth, to take on the identities of other superheroes like Black Widow, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Daredevil, and Wolverine to get some more credit. However, the events of Captain America 5 left all of the Raft prisoners being broken out, including Red Hulk, who proves too much for the team. So, Baron Zemo, also now broken out, decides to form his own team consisting of Hawkeye, Punisher, Photon, Elektra, and America Chavez to stop the Red Hulk. Eventually, the Dark Avengers see the error in their ways, with Yelena, Sentry, and Bucky sacrificing themselves to stop the Red Hulk. The rest of the Dark Avengers go their separate ways, leaving Zemo's new team to fill the void, taking the name Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts: Rise of the Dark Avengers would release in theaters November 7th, 2031. Then, from January to March 2032, we would have the fifth and final season of Daredevil Born Again, which would follow Matt, now at peace with Karen, and having conceived a son named Jackie Murdoch, being pulled back into vigilante life by Elektra, when Wilson Fisk's son Richard rears his head, going by the villain name The Rose. Across the episodes, Jessica Jones, now reunited with her sister Trish, aka Wildcat, post-Raft release, would join in on the fight, and in the end, Matt would die, passing along the mantle to Elektra. Then we would have the saga's third X-Men film entitled X-Men: Fall of X, which would follow the team heading to Genosha to strike a deal for mutant rights with Magneto. But things go awry when they realize Emma Frost is there and is manipulating Magneto. The film would kick off with the breakup of Rogue and Gambit setting off on his own adventure, and would end with the Sentinels' invasion of Genosha and the X-Men splitting up in the aftermath. The film would release May 7th, 2032. Then, we would have a Gambit miniseries on Disney Plus, releasing from August to October 2032. This would take Gambit back home to his lover Belladonna, and get him wrapped up in a gang war, which in the end would result in Gambit's death. Then, on November 5th, 2032, we would have Spider-Man: Judgement Day. This movie would follow Peter training Miles Morales as a fellow Spider-Man as they fight Green Goblin and Peter's old friend Flash Thompson, or now Agent Venom, thanks to Peter removing the symbiote in the last film. Then, on February 11th, 2033, we would have Shang-Chi and the Agents of Atlas, which would follow Shang, Katie, and Wong, forming a team consisting of Miss Marvel, Jimmy Woo, Colleen Wing, and Luna Snow, to battle the mystical dragon Fin Fang Foom. Then, from March to April 2033, we would have the third season of Nova, which would follow both Richard Rider and Sam Alexander going up against Kree soldiers Minerva and Atlas. On May 6, 2033, we finally have our Infinity War equivalent, X-Men: Rise of Apocalypse, where after being awoken by Annihilus in last phase's Avengers film, Apocalypse wreaks havoc on Earth, bringing back Angels, Sentry, Gambit, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine as his four horsemen. The X-Men, Avengers, and Thunderbolts all team up to stop Apocalypse, but they are no match for him. Wanda decides the only way to stop him is by uttering, "No more mutants," which creates a new reality where no mutants have their powers as the snap-level cliffhanger. Before we conclude this story, we take a step back to the 4th season of Champions, releasing from October to December of 2033. This is a more small-scale story that would follow Kate Bishop's mum Eleanor returning as the villain Madame Mask and killing off the champions one by one, starting with Ironheart, whose death interrupts Wiccan and Hulkling's wedding ceremony. The wedding is postponed as the champions go into hiding, with America Chavez and Kid Loki being killed by Madame Mask over the course of the season. In the end, Eleanor is defeated, and just as Wiccan and Hulkling are about to finally get married, reality is rewritten by Wanda, and Billy wakes up to find Tommy still alive. This leads us into the Saga's final project, Avengers, House of M, releasing April 28th, 2034. In Wanda's new mutantless reality, she leads side by side with Magneto and Wiccan, as well as a revived Quicksilver and Speed. A ragtag group of Avengers, Fantastic Four, Champions, and powerless X-Men form an alliance to stop Wanda. In the end, Jean Grey sacrificing herself to the Phoenix Force to defeat Wanda and set the world back to normal. And yeah, in the end, Wiccan and Hulkling finally do get married. And that brings me to the end of not only Phase 9, but my Mutant Saga as a whole. Thank you all so much for your support on this series. I've really enjoyed making it, and yeah, have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch more videos. Alright, bye!